Hello, dear followers. I'm back to you with the second part of conjunctive adverbs. As I told you before, this is quite important in both writing and speaking. And if you're going to have a good mark in your IELTS writing, you need to know conjunctive adverbs and use them correctly in your sentences. Well, we've already worked on part one, which was addition. This is part two, focusing on comparison under the category of conjunctive adverbs. For the starter, I have a sentence here. I enjoy playing tennis. Likewise, my sister is a big fan of the sport. Now, when you say likewise, it means in the same way. In the same way. I enjoy playing tennis. In the same way, my sister is a big fan of the sport. It means they both like sports generally, and we can say specifically or narrowly, they both like playing tennis. Conjunctive adverbs, you know that they are also called sentence adverbs. They are parts of speech that are used to connect one complete sentence to another complete sentence. So we are dealing with something which connects two sentences, one after the other one. They are used to show addition, which we worked on in part one, comparison, we have it in part two. We will have another video for contrast and also for cause and effect. Now let's work on comparison here. When you say comparison, it means it involves identifying the similarities between two or more things. That's the key point here. You're focusing on similarities between two or more things, not contrast. Pay attention to this. Words like similarly, likewise, comparatively are under the category of comparison. Good. Now let's get to the first example here. The first word, similarly. Similarly. This adverb implies that two things are alike in nature or manner. Like almost all other conjunctive adverbs, you can have two formats. You can use them in two formats, format one, format two. Let's get to the first format. You can use it in the middle of the sentence with a period before it. Here is an example. The cost of food and clothing has come down in recent years, period. Similarly, comma, fuel prices have fallen quite considerably. Now you have one period here, you have similarly with capital S, and you have one comma after that. Well, you always have one comma after that. And format two, you can use it in the middle of the sentence with a semicolon before it. The cost of food and clothing has come down in recent years, semicolon. Similarly, fuel prices have fallen quite considerably. Now we can see I have one semicolon here. I have similarly with small s, and then I have this comma. Well, above I have the comma, below I have the comma. Above similarly was with capital S, below similarly with small s. Above we had one period, below we had a semicolon. But in terms of meaning, they are both the same. They are the same. No difference in terms of meaning. The only difference is the only difference here we have is related to punctuation. Good. Well, you can also use similarly at the end of sentence like this. Both actors delivered their lines similarly. Similarly, you can use it at the end of the sentence here as an adverb. It is not necessary to join two sentences, but if you use it to join two sentences, you should call it a conjunctive adverbs. Use either style one or style 2. Good. Let's have a look at some other examples. Likewise. Likewise. This adverb has the same meaning as similarly. I enjoy playing tennis. Likewise, my sister is a big fan of the sport. That is style 1 or format 1. You have one period. You have likewise with capital L, and then you have one comma. Now this is format 2. I enjoy playing tennis, semicolon. Likewise, comma, my sister is a big fan of the sport. As I just told you, there's no difference in terms of meaning. The only difference is related to punctuation. Another example, the lobsters were delicious, period. Likewise, capital L, comma, the fish was excellent. And style 2, the lobsters were delicious, semicolon. Likewise, the fish was excellent. Now, you write likewise here with the first letter in small letter, small l, and above you had capital L. And here is the last word, comparatively. Comparatively. This adverb suggests that two things are alike while emphasizing a specific point of comparison. The city center was bustling with activity, means it was so busy. Comparatively, the suburbs felt quiet and peaceful. Quiet and peaceful. Well, you have comparatively here. Before that, you have one period, capital C, and you have one comma after that. The city center was bustling with activity, semicolon. Comparatively, the suburbs felt quiet and peaceful. Use comparatively here. This C is small. You have one semicolon and you have one comma after that. Well, no difference if you want to use it after with this style 1 or style 2. The meanings are the same, but they differ in terms of punctuation. Okay, that was about comparison. In the next video, I prepare an educational content about contrast.